findings, their reflection of their classrooms and schools. So, and I also encourage our audience to be active, to listen carefully, ask questions, share your feedback, and I hope that by the end of this lesson, all of us will leave this room with new ideas, new impressions, and with fresh inspiration to make better our practice. Thank you, and let's begin our session. Would you like to come first?
So, good afternoon, dear colleagues. My name is Gulnur Akishova. I'm currently working as a English language teacher in school gymnasium number 52. I'm also Master of Arts and Educational Studies. I am also Bolashak alumni, and I did my master's degree in the United States in Ohio State University. So let me present my presentation about action research and improving teachers' classroom practice. So how can we use the slides? So do I need to do it myself? So language teachers all around the world, of course, want to be an effective teachers who provide them with the best learning opportunities to their students. And the action research can be one of the valuable tools. Can be one of the valuable tools to extend our teaching skills. So what is the action research, and what characterizes how it's related to other types of researches? Let's try to figure it out. So the main idea of action research is to identify the problematic situation or issue that the participants, who may include teachers, students, sometimes parents, administrators, consider looking deep and more systematically in this problem. So the term problematic is doesn't mean that teacher kind of problematic, or she's an incompetent, or he's incompetent. It means that we as a teachers see what is really happening in our classroom. We see this gap, what is really happening in our classroom, and what we'd like to see. Of course, if you are the reflective teachers, because when you go to the classroom, you have this, all your presentation, you have this lesson plan, and you go into this classroom, and you expect some better outcomes. But at the end of the lesson, if you are not satisfied, if you see that something went wrong, of course, you have to think that you have a problem. And this action research will help us to identify this problem and work with it. So action research is systematic inquiry conducted by teachers in their own classroom. It's not conducted by your principals, your administrators. And it aims to identify problems, test solutions, and to improve our teaching experience. Teachers become researchers of their own practice. So, and you may think, excuse me, I am not a researcher, I'm a teacher. I don't get paid for this. I don't get time off for this. Why do I have to do it? And actually, I'm not supposed to do this. But yes, indeed, you could be right in such if you think that way. But as a reflective teacher, as I told before, you have to think that you have to think about your problem, and this action research will help us to work with our. You can move the next slide. So key features of action research: it focuses on real classroom problems. So, for example, you have a lot of classes. You have different grades, and you see that you have a problem in one class with vocabulary, in another class with writing and speaking, and etc. So, for example, in our school, we, with our colleagues, conducted action research about teaching the vocabulary, because we identified that our students struggle exactly with vocabulary. So, and we conducted it, as I told you before, we can think that we're not supposed to do this, but it's improved our teaching strategies. We understand the students better because we have different multi-level students. They have some needs, special needs, and we start to understand students better. We solve the classroom problems and we develop professionally and make informed decisions. So it's not like, let's do this, let's do that. We have data, we analyze it, and we make the informed decision, not just like randomly. So, and to your mind, you can have the idea, if I'm a reflective teacher, is the action research and reflective teaching is the same thing. So spoilering, it's not the same thing. Because maybe you're familiar with the American philosopher, the Donald Schoen, who stated two reflective model. And he stated two types of reflection model. It's a reflection on action and reflection in action. So reflection in action means like when you reflect something like exactly when it's happening. So it's like you respond something what exactly in the real time and maybe some surprising situations. Reflection on action means like you are looking back. You are analyzing something happened in the past. So, and the difference between these two concepts, the action research and the reflecting on teaching, is that action research is something formal process. For example, you have action plan, you have action plan, and you do like, yes, thank you. So, action research is like about data collection, it's a formal way to investigate your problems. But however, the reflection is the informal thinking about, it's like a habit of mind. You are just thinking about it. It's not something like, it's not a formal process, let's say that this way. So, you can move the next slide. Yes. So, the challenges teachers face during the action research is of course the lack of time, because I know that all teachers in Kazakhstan and not only in Kazakhstan, around the world, they have lack of time. There is no time, and they have heavy teaching workload because you are class managers and you have a lot of these responsibilities, and you don't have enough time to do this. However, you can show the next slide. This one. However, it has its benefits, because benefits like overweight the challenges. So you will become more reflective practitioner. So it means that you are not that teacher who comes for 45 minutes and you spend these 45 minutes and say like, the rest is not my problem. So the day for today I am done. You will become to these reflective practitioners doing this action research, identifying this problem, helping students, and you will see, you will see the better student outcomes. And it will help you to feel this professional confidence. So, if you have any questions, yes, I think I'm done for today. So, thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, thank you.
Thank you. It's a brief and exact methodology. It will be methodology of action research, and I think so. All your next presentation will relate it with this methodology. And do you have any questions to our speaker? So next one, please. Nova.
Okay, good afternoon, dear colleagues. My name is Samal Ulapyakadze. I work at a state school number 77. I teach primary EFL learners, grades 3rd and 4th grade learners. If it's okay, I'll be looking at my phone because I have my speech here because I don't want to miss any details. So, today I'd like to present you a small classroom-based action research study that explores how supported self-regulation routines support oral participation in primary ESL learners. As teachers, we often notice that some students actively volunteer while speaking in English, but while others remain silent and even when they know the answer. In my classroom with 3rd and 4th grade students, I observed that many students gave very short answers, hesitated while speaking, or sometimes even avoided participating altogether. Some students responded with short responses or responded with phrases like, I don't know, even though they had previously demonstrated the understanding of the topic. Next lesson. So here we can see that usually we observe in our classrooms very short answers like I don't know, or yes, I like, I don't like, or some students even hesitate speaking and avoid participating altogether. These observations raised an interesting and important question. So is the difficulty always linguistic, or could emotional and temperamental factors influence the students' willingness to speak? Next. We know that speaking a foreign language requires not only linguistic knowledge but also confidence to speak publicly and emotional readiness. So, research in developmental psychology suggests that children differ in temperament, including behavioral inhibition, emotional reactivity, and impulsivity, which can significantly affect classroom participation. Next. Okay, so what is behavioral inhibition? Behavioral inhibition refers to a tendency to feel cautious or anxious in a new or evaluated situations. Even we as teachers, when we are performing some public speech in front of a big group, we feel anxious, we feel frustrated, we sometimes feel very nervous. So imagine how 4th and 3rd and 4th grade students feel themselves. And often, those students who have in the classroom setting, those students who behaviorally inhibited, they usually even they might understand and they might know the answer, but they hesitate to raise their hands, or they avoid eye contact, or they may answer with I don't know, even when they know, because due to the fear of speaking in front of their peers. So this kind of students, they usually benefit from repeated actions and repeated exercises, or from emotional support, or when they have a supportive environment where exposure to speaking tasks increases gradually. And next one is impulsivity. Impulsivity is the tendency to act quickly without fully thinking through consequences or instructions. In the classroom, impulsive students usually they call out answers or interrupt their peers, or they speak before formulating their answer fully. Well, while these students, they may seem that they are eager and willing to participate, but actually their knowledge may not be deep. Otherwise, inhibited students who usually feel cautious and who feel nervous to answer and they raise their hands, they at the same time may have the same or even deeper comprehension with additional support or time to answer thoughtfully. No. And we can, as teachers, teachers are always inclined to assume that the students who answer first and quickly are the ones who understand the task better. But this is very important and crucial bias in our classroom setting, in our classroom, because identifying this bias can help teachers when designing strategies that can that assess all students accurately and yes, equally. And at the same time, emotional reactivity and impulsivity reflect the intensity and the sensitivity of students' responses. Highly reactive students may experience strong feelings of frustration, embarrassment, or excitement. In practice, this could appear as fidgeting, withdrawal, or overly loud reactions while speaking tasks. And this moment, structured routines like brief guided breathing or structured pauses can help the students manage their emotions and participate more comfortably. Recognizing these temperamental differences emphasizes that participation is not solely a matter of language ability. Both inhibited and impulsive learners may require different types of support to succeed in speaking tasks. So based on these ideas, I became interested in exploring whether simple self-regulation routines could help students feel more prepared and become confident before speaking tasks. So the main research question guiding this study was, does the implementation of structured self-regulation routines increase oral participation among grades 3 and 4 EFL learners? And there were two sub-questions considered too. Does the average length of students' spoken responses increase, and does the frequency of avoidance behavior decrease? So to investigate these questions, I conducted a small action research project over a period of 4 weeks in my primary EFL classroom. The participants were 3rd and 4th grade students aged from 8 to 10. You can go next. During the first week, I conducted a baseline observation. In this phase, I did not introduce any strategies. Instead, I collected simple classroom data. I recorded the number of students who volunteered to speak and the approximate length of their responses and the frequency of avoidance behaviors such as silence or I don't know answers. And during the second and the third weeks, I introduced several structured self-regulation routines before speaking activities. These routines were intentionally simple and short so they could fit into any regular lesson. The first routine was a brief 30-second guided breathing exercise before speaking tasks. The purpose was to help students pause, calm any nervous energy, and mentally prepare for the task. I guided students to take slow, deep breaths, imagine letting go of any tension, and focus their attention on upcoming tasks. This helps students develop awareness of their emotional state and provided a consistent reset before participation. And the second strategy was think, whisper, share activity. Students were given a short moment to think about their answer, then share it with a partner, then before speaking to whole class. So this step-by-step progression helps students to rehearse, reduce anxiety, and normalize the idea that it is okay to practice before speaking publicly. And this routine also supports impulsive students by giving them time before formulating their thoughts and saying. And the third strategy involves the use of sentence starters written on the board, like I think, in my opinion, I believe, and etc. These starters provide a scaffolding for students who struggle to formulate complete sentences on the spot, particularly for those who are behaviorally inhibited or highly reactive. And the fourth last strategy was the use of predictable speaking structure. For example, I consistently asked questions in a structured format and reminded about the steps think, whisper, and share. So these routines were designed not to change the language, and the language content of the lesson, but to support students' emotional readiness and cognitive preparation before speaking. During the fourth week, I continued the routines and collected observation data, again using the same indicators as in the first baseline week. So here's the data from the first baseline data. You can see the total number of students is 91. These are third and fourth grade students. Volunteers per lesson is average from all classes. It's 80. It's average. Fourth graders and third graders. Those who actively volunteer. Average response length 1-2 words. A lot of hesitation and a lot of I don't know words or just silence. Evading behaviors per lesson is 30, and type of behavior I don't know, and etc. Silent 20 and silence refusal 10. These numbers are average. Okay, next. These are data collected from the fourth week. You can see that volunteers per lesson up to 35. It increased up to 35 students in fourth grade and 13 third grades. Average response length 1-2. It's average. There were students who spoke with 3 or 4 sentences. I don't say that these sentences were grammatically fully correct, but still it was increased and clear improvement. And avoidance behavior per lesson was 13. Type of behavior I don't know, it's 9, and silence refusal 4. So it is important to emphasize that this study does not attempt to diagnose or categorize students' temperament. Rather, it recognizes that learners bring different emotional and developmental and behavioral tendencies into the classroom. And structured routines may help accommodate these differences and provide a more predictable and supportive learning environment. Here you can see some recommendations for teachers if you would like to implement those routines in your classroom. For primary EFL teachers, these routines may provide a useful way to support students who feel hesitant about speaking while also encouraging more balanced participation across the class. Okay. So in conclusion, this action research project suggests that incorporating brief self-regulation routines into speaking activities may help increase students' willingness to participate and to speak for a longer period of time, especially in primary EFL classrooms. And also, I would like to add that it is important to note that these temperamental traits are closely related to the functioning of nervous system and are not solely a matter of effort or choice. Therefore, behaviors such as hesitation or impulsive responding should not be viewed as students' fault or limitations, but rather as individual differences that teachers need to consider when designing instructions. Participation in the language classroom is shaped not only by what students know, but also by how students experience the learning process. The goal of this study was not evaluate students' abilities, but to better understand how classroom practices can support diverse learners. Ultimately, supporting participation means not only teaching students, but creating the conditions in which they feel able to say it. This also suggests a shift in the teacher's role. From evaluating correct answers to facilitating conditions that support all learners' participation. And at last, it should also be acknowledged that this was a short-term study conducted over 4 weeks. While the results are encouraging, further research over a longer period will be needed to confirm the consistency and the long-term effects.
Have you got any questions to Ms. Samal? Thank you. No, thank you very much for your clear and accessible presentation, but meaningful, which you conducted in primary school. And we could see, yes, that the research question based on evidence, which you get from lesson observation. Also, we provide literature review to understand, recognize different types of engagement, such as behavioral, emotional, and cognitive. And also we collect the data and show us. So your research consists of numbers. And I want to ask you, did you need any special conditions to conduct this study?
Well, the routines were designed and especially very simple, and so any teacher without any extra materials could implement it and could fit it into regular lesson.
Thanks. So I hope you will implement the changes in our education system. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One more question. How many teachers were involved in this study? I missed this information.
It was solely my project.
Individual.
Yes, individual.
I wish you to find out any critical friends in the school,
Yes,
because when
that
you
would be very
do this
interesting.
research in team, in meditating, it will be more reliable and honest.
I'd like to share with interesting moment. I became a mother recently, so
Congratulations.
yes, thank you. No, it was 3 years already. It is 3 years. The idea came from during my maternity leave, because I was looking at my daughter and I was looking how she is developing, and it was interesting how they develop emotionally, and it was interesting how her temperament also influences how she develops. So the idea came from the maternity.
So this was resonance with me, because now when you use action research approach, yes, I think so. We don't have any problems, it's just challenges. If you can solve, you try to use in different corners. So and I wish you.
Yeah, I would be
success.
very happy if any of other researchers would be interested and they would like to conduct further research together.
Okay, so next year I invite you to our action research specific interest group, yes, SIG, and we are working in collaboration.
Okay.
In collaboration.
Thank you.
Next, Marilla. Zula Bogdan. Фариза.
Так, Фариза и Савриза Кибаева в команде, идентично Райтин, они, наверное, после обеда будут выступать.
Марilla тоже, да?
Марилана, знаешь, есть мюзикл, есть. Let's go to the next museum. If they will come late, we will listen to them. Так, Шестак Екатерина here, so you just okay, so after that maybe you will provide a short discussion to time for What?
Oh, take mine. Okay, good afternoon, dear participants. Welcome to our conference, and I think that you are having a good time. So, as you notice, my presentation is done in funny floral screen style because it is spring nowadays. Also, the sun is shining, but for today, but it is sunny weather mostly, and the weather becomes warmer and warmer from day to day. And I also want you to congratulate you on the upcoming Mother's holiday, Norris. Okay, so my name is Ekaterina. I'm an English teacher at Gymnasium number 6, and I'm the member of our Action Research Group. So, my today's topic is how does the student voice impact lesson planning. Okay, next please. So, student voice research to learners' input, preferences, feedback, and active participation in shaping their learning experience. Next please. So, how have we defined our topic? We discussed within our group. In the middle, we can see the members of our group. Also, Sonia Mugidina helped and helps us a lot, so I can say that she's also the member of our
Just
group.
sharing. Yes. Support to each other.
Also, we observed our lesson, and also we observed and analyzed our teaching practice. Next, what is the evidence? The evidence is diagnostic test results, maybe summative assessment results, formative assessment results, also low engagement during the lessons, and maybe poor speaking practice. Maybe the problem is in poor vocabulary, or maybe the fear of public speaking or in front of the class. So what did we do? We learned the literature. Also, we participated in webinars, 20-minute talks within our group. We met online and offline and discussed different topics. We communicated on our WhatsApp group. Also, we presented our results on platforms, on forums, and on Padlet. Next, please. On this slide, we can see different methods and tools we used during our lessons, before implementing this research topic in our practice and during this process. To be honest, I didn't conduct any survey because earlier I didn't know what to include, what questions to include, the example answers learners should choose. So one lesson I just asked my learners, my focus group is learners of the 9th grade, what do they want from the lesson? On what should we work more? And they told me that where they wanted to enrich their vocabulary, they didn't want to learn the words, but they want to speak. They wanted to know the words without learning them. Difficult, I think. And also maybe to include more play and group work during the lessons. So at first I was afraid that they would tell me that they wanted to play each lesson, for example, Kahoot. So what should I do then if they said this? But my friends were not confirmed. And as it is said, it's known where is the demand. So then there is a supply. And we started learning, teaching, and working together at our lessons. Almost each lesson, I and my teammates, my group mates, on Action Research try to include different activities on enriching vocabulary, improving speaking skills, also improving writing skills, and also some activities on teamwork. Next, please. And here we can see some examples of techniques we use at our lessons. For example, these two bricks. The first one we can see
question words, and the second one is without any signs. I use them when we learn the section reading for pleasure. We can throw this ball, or students can choose some kind of questions. They can ask the question themselves or give answers on this question. And this brick is also very useful because it is without any signs, and we can put the list of different activities on this just stick. Also, these cards, they are already ready. There are different also questions, some kind of issues, maybe difficult situations, on improving or developing critical thinking skills, or also creative thinking skills. I use these cards at the beginning of the lesson as some kind of warm-up or lead-in, and when, for example, 2, 3, 4 minutes are left till the end of the lesson. Next, the second row is dedicated to project works. It is also, they were also done during the reading for pleasure section. The task was to make a story about any ancient civilization. And the students should choose what civilization, what type, the format, the way they would present this. It also depends on their choice. So as we can see, some of them chose the ancient Egypt, some of them chose Vikings, for example, just a picture without any text. Here we can see the picture with text. Here we can see the list. And here in the form of comics. It depended on the student's choice. Next, please. For corners technique. During my observation, in my opinion, it is my students' favorite one. They have to read the statement and then go to agree, disagree, strongly agree, or strongly disagree on the room. Then within the group, at the end of these on these corners, they discuss, and then one representative share the whole group opinion with the whole class. My students like it very much, and they asked me to use it more and more often. Next. No? Also, gallery walk and auction games are also very widespread in my lesson. The students like them. Here in Woodville on River Green, and practicing new topic vocabulary, and also we don't forget about internet platforms, for example, Learning Apps, Wordwall, next, Padlet, WhatsApp, and Kahoot. Next, please. Also some pictures from our teaching practice. And let's talk about challenges. We still have some challenges and face some challenges. Some students still don't take active part in our learning process. Also, students' hesitation, they can't formulate what they want clearly. For example, during our lessons, students take part in defining the theme, defining the lesson objectives, explaining something, helping low-motivated students, giving their feedback to other students or to their teacher, but nevertheless they try to explain what they want from the lesson, but not in a clear way. Next, time management. Some activities require time. For example, gallery work requires a lot of time and Garcia, depends on the topics. Also balancing curriculum requirements. Next, please. And the last one, our successes, our classes from implementing these, the theme of our action research. Student engagement and interest increased. Motivation also increased and improved. Lessons became more flexible and student-centered, more student-centered. The atmosphere of the lesson became more friendly and emotional. And also speaking skills are increased. Even silent students, low motivated students start talking, maybe one sentence or single sentence, maybe one phrase, but it's still a progress.
Step by step, we going to our teaching. Do you have any questions to Ms. Ekaterina? So, and I want to notice that this study was conducted in collaboration. Yes, you can see how many teachers were involved in this study. And also, I want to notice that you keep ethical rules, as you can see. So, teacher hired students' faces. Yes, so we cannot share students' face without permissions, and also we should quote their names. And I remember my first presentation in lesson study project. It was in 2012. So I showed on in my poster students' faces, their names, the students A, the students B, the students so. Step by step and research by research, of course, you will increase, yes, your mistakes and your limitations. Это как гончарное дело, да, вы можете там дочитать методологию, но все равно ваши первые горшочки будут такие кривые, кособокие, только practice makes perfect, поэтому don't afraid of conducting research. Thank you.
And it is not the end of the research, we're still working.
So,
And then there will be some kind of maybe survey or also interview.
I want to suggest, for example, to get reliable evidence, reliable answers. So you, for example, I didn't provide for interview with focus group myself. I asked my colleagues, but she recorded their answers, and maybe because teachers can be shy and maybe diplomatic, ethics, yes, those don't put me, they come relax to the next. Если не опаздывает, начальство задерживается. So, thank you, Екатерина. If you have any questions,
My colleagues also noticed that these class students' speaking skills improved and they conducted other subject lessons and also additional lessons, or additional courses, additional lessons. And they noticed their speaking skills, their motivation, and their interest increased. I was happy.
we will continue our collaboration next year. Thank you. Fariza and Milava, maybe you will be next after that. Are you ready? Okay, so you can. Maybe you can send to our group. Okay. It's up for you. Да, на WhatsApp собрать. Есть у вас? Сейчас.
А что, здесь не открывается?
Там, наверное, закрыть надо. Здесь просто видите, Фариза. Да, просто для upload на компьютер, потому что здесь идет шейдинг стиль.
Может, приложим на компьютер?
Да, компьютер больше прям.
Все. Да. Hello everyone.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Today We're going to present our action research. The topic is enhancing grades and students' academic writing skills through structured frameworks and AI tools. So, my name is Sonia Sektibayeva. This is my colleague Farizat Khalaf. So I'm from Asna English School, and Farizat from Georgia School. Next. So the presentation includes the introduction and background of research, literature review, methodology, and then practical implementation. Yes. So what about the background of research? As we know, in language, we have certain skills such as receptive, understanding the range of written and spoken, authentic, personal, professional, and mass media texts. Then interactive, yes, it's about conversation and communication skills, and productive skills, yes, where students need to produce their oral and written pieces of work. Next. And as for the text, we focus on personal, professional, and mass media types of text. And apart from this, we also focus on developing skills of academic writing through reading and exploring these texts. But when we realized, when we started working, we realized that the student has some undeveloped writing skills in terms of challenges in producing coherent and logically structured writing works, then difficulty in constructing arguments, and lower academic performances. So it resulted in their lower academic performance. The problem statement of our research is insufficient writing structure, limited academic writing performance, and dependence on teacher guidance. And when we started, we have worked on developing the research question: how does the implementation of structured writing frameworks and AI writing tools impact students' academic writing skills? And the research focus was to improve grade 10 students' overall academic writing skills through explicit teaching of structured writing frameworks such as PIL, TPL, CER. So I will tell about it later. And integration of AI tools to support drafting and revising. So these are the writing frameworks that we used in our research to develop students' academic writing skills. TPEL is topic, sentence, point, explanation, evidence linked to the topic sentence. So it is the paragraph structuring. The CER framework where students learn how to write claim evidence, explanation, and reasoning. And PIL, which is very popular. It's point, example, explanation, and link. Apart from this, we also focus on teaching students introduction frameworks such as hook, context, and thesis statement. We also taught our students to write thesis statement, formula, like topic, clear exposition and argument, and effective conclusion, yes, from specific to more broad. Then, and the following AI tools were used: Grammarly, which is not only about checking grammar or sentence correction, it's about also AI detection. For example, if you upload your work in Grammarly, you can see the percentage of the AI detected text and plagiarism. As well, we use Turnitin and Quillbot. Okay, and literature review, which we devised for this academic action research. We found out that the literature review highlights that the explicit writing frameworks improve organization and communication. Also, AI and automatic writing evaluation tools enhance accuracy but had limited impact on writing without scaffolding. And the third point from the literature reviews that we gained is teacher mediation, feedback literacy, determine the effectiveness of writing interventions, especially in underperforming countries, non-underperforming countries. So these are the literature we used, like Chalk et al. 2005, Lipo et al. 2013. I will not take the time, just introduce the main points that we have gained from this literature review. And while doing this literature review, we identified the research gap. While international research supports the effectiveness of structured writing instruction and AI-assisted feedback, there is a notable lack of studies examining their combined impact in Kazakhstan secondary schools, and this study addresses this gap by investigating how these approaches influence grade 10 students' academic writing skills in the local Chiltern context. So this is the research gap for our academic, for our actual research. As for methodology and research design, next one. We focus on classroom-based actual research with mixed methods approach. So we have both qualitative and quantitative. And participants, we recruited 6 students from 2 schools. Students were of different levels of abilities. And the data sources we used for our research were diagnostic tests, writing frameworks, scaffolding, teacher observation, and students written assignments. Next. This is our data collection tools. In quantitative, we focused on writing assessment scores, a pre- and post-diagnostic test, and then rubric-based analysis, as well as in qualitative, we both worked on teacher observations and also students' reflections. As for data analysis, we choose photo of protocols of students' works, then observation protocols and post-reflection. So this is the theoretical part of our actual research, but if I will tell about the practical implementation of the study.
So the practical implementation of the study starts with the, of course, diagnostic test or pre-test. For example, we had 6 students, and as a result of the pre-test, student A showed that no paragraph structure, there was no paragraph structure. Student B repeats ideas, no examples, for example, and student C, the structure is present, but there were weak transitions. Next, student D, there were limited academic vocabulary, then difficulty understanding the essay question. Sometimes students, they didn't get the essay question, the structure of the essay, and they, of course, get the bad marks from the task achievement. And student F cannot explain ideas clearly, and sometimes they cannot write full sentences consistently. And after that, we implemented AI and the writing frameworks. Next slide. First, I want to show you where you can implement AI in the writing process. Of course, it's for generating ideas. We can generate ideas from AI, but there should be not whole paragraphs. There should be like short structures, only maybe thesis, yeah. And for editing, it's as my colleague mentioned, Grammarly and Quillbot, and for reflection. But reflection, we mean what reflection? Students' reflection, how AI responds. Does the AI's response critical or maybe trustworthy? Yeah, so that's why we need to pay attention for that. Next, as we integrated these AI tools in the lesson stages such as drafting, revision, and also, as my colleague mentioned, for checking plagiarisms, Turnitin, post-submission and the feedback. You know that our students usually check from AI, and that's why we implemented this Turnitin. And the Quillbot for paraphrasing and vocabulary enhancement. In writing, you need to be precise. In academic writing especially, you need to be precise. You shouldn't use very difficult and long words, yeah? So Quillbot helps us in this case. Next, and these are our writing frameworks which we used. So they are abbreviations, like PEEL is point, evidence, explain, and the link. I guess our colleagues usually use these frameworks in their writings too. In this case, we implemented frameworks, but you should be careful. Of course, you need to implement these frameworks by the complexity. So, for example, start with the pill, and after that you can go to the claim, evidence, explain, and relate. So, try to choose the complexity of these writing frameworks. Next one. And we developed prompts. In this case, our students used AI as a tutor, as a like partner, not the final version. For example, they before starting these lessons, we integrated this kind of activity. For example, they analyzed the AI's writing essays, and after that, our students, I guess, understood that AI sometimes lacks of academic writing and sometimes inconsistent, and word choice can be not competitive enough. So that's why we used AI as a partner. And in this case, we tried to give the prompts such as, for example, give me a full paragraph outline, headings only, no sentences, it's very important. Do not write the whole paragraph for me, only fill it in myself. So for the generating ideas and just not copying from AI. Of course, if there are the pre-test results, don't be scared from my students writing, our students writing. So as you can see, there was a task in 10th grade. We have a unit about space and engineering. We both work in the STEM classes, more mathematical classes. So, the task was, some people believe that space colonization is only viable solution for humanity's long-term survival. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So this is argumentative type of essay, and our students try to implement, try to use PIL here. Like, firstly, it's easy to understand why space colonization might seem like a good solution. This is the evidence. Projects by NASA and the global companies like SpaceX show that people are already working on building settlements. But as you can see, be honest, yeah? So be honest. Again, that's not an academic transition. Our students, they are not aware of academic language. Yeah, linking words. So next one, next results. Okay. And this one is about for nature of genius. So there was a unit about multiple intelligence, like the Gardner's theory. And as you can see here, the essay is okay. Try to implement the field structure. Yeah, try to include the examples from the text, but still. Firstly, secondly, if you have firstly, secondly, of course you should have finally, yeah? And there is a lack of, and I also mentioned this about it. But again, for formative assessment, the essay is okay, don't pay attention to the handwriting. Next one. This student needs clarity. And as you can see, some sentences are unstructural. And of course, so many different, first of all, for example, and example in the end. So these are the, not coherent essay. There are many examples of the essays. These students also lacks of clarity, structure paragraph, because so many, there was a task about writing analysis on the atomic habits. Do you know this book? by James Clear, Atomic Habits. Yes, there was analysis to write this essay, but still very inconsistent and using I statements like in the academic writing. Next, you can skip. Okay. You can. There are like other results you can skip. I want to show. And our students show that they have some. For example, student 1. She has a strong vocabulary. These are not real names. Don't be afraid. Not real names. They have a strong vocabulary but weak structure. Then, for example, student 2 struggles with argumentation. Student 3 struggles with cohesion. Students 4 with the thesis construction, over-reliance on translation. For example, they usually translate from language 1 to language English, yeah? And a good structure, but lacks depth. And after that, we implemented our frameworks, AI tools, and our students, for example, student 3, ideas were very imaginative, but after using Grammarly and the Quillbot, they started to improve the sentence linking, and they tried to write the thesis statement in the beginning of the paragraph. And student 4, there was a before there was a simple just fact statement. They just presented the examples, but they didn't link these examples to the main idea of the essay. But after that, after Grammarly and the Quillbot, they tried to implement hook context thesis structure and multi-clause thesis statements. Next. These are just preliminary results. In our school, for example, in Zerde school, we had like 5.5 for writing, 6 at least. But after implementing, I don't think that, of course, we just showed the way. They know the vocabulary, they know the grammar, but we just showed the way how to construct these essays. And we can see at least 6.5, 0.5. Wait, there was a progress in the, can you show it? There was a progress for 0.5. We have first 7 for writing task, and we also have the second 7 for writing tasks. And I guess they tried, and after that we can give the recommendations. Can you proceed to the next slide? So you can use AI just as a partner, as a tutor, but we need to teach. We need to reflect how we should use AI in the writing process. And it's if, of course, we can benefit from that, as you can see. So, and building here the important thing, we need to build metacognitive awareness. So students, metacognitive, it means that students should critically assess the AI's response and reflect. So this is the end. Can you show the reference? Thank you so much. Any questions?
Whole cycle, yes, we have finished.
Yeah. But we need to proceed with the students' reflections on AI. Yeah. We need to take maybe a reflection worksheet or something.
And 6 students will be from each school, or
3 from at least 3 from yes, 3 from 2 schools.
it's we narrowed your research questions. Yes, it's a good because writing and AI, so and it's not wide, so it's easy to measure your results and easy to achieve your results. So thank you, and my recommendation to share with the cycle on our webinars, 20-minute talks.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions? questions. Ask.
How to maintain the academic honesty? For example, you said this is a question that I have asked myself again and again. For example, yes, we can give our students the laptops or the tablets, or they have also phone, and you say, so this is a how to say? This is a sentence, so you can text it, you can write it in your ChatGPT, for example, AI tool, and then it can give you the structure how to write a good essay. Yeah.
In our schools, we have academic integrity policy, and according to these policies, there are 4 levels of infringements. If the student, for example, cheats more than one time, so the first it will be warning for him, then the second time we fill in the report if he or she has cheated during exams, and the third it will be some pedagogical council in our school where students and their parents are asked to come. And the fourth, it will be the students will be prohibited of taking examinations, and they are aware of this policy. For example, we use Turnitin and we use Grammarly to detect AI plagiarism and to detect plagiarism in general.
Yeah.
And the students are aware. For example, we just come ask students to sit with us and then report to students you have 25% of AI detected text, and they are aware if there is a detection of AI, their grades will not be reduced, their works will not be accepted.
Thank you.
So also, yes, good advice, who should not say that when we conduct any type of research, first of all, we should create a rule. Yes, strict rules and for teachers and for students to get accuracy data results.
One more question, please. So, for example, you said that you are providing academic honesty policy, yeah? So, what about your parents? So, don't your parents complain about that? So, how do you, for example, regulate this word?
So initially, we have parents meeting. We have parents meeting. They explain about the government plans, and the parents are aware. But mostly in senior grades, parents they are not so involved in the educational process. I don't know, maybe 2-3 parents who are very, very So the goal for them is only to be accepted to universities, European universities. But how? And the grades, there were no complaints regarding this.
But they didn't show any names, yes, and face, so we can conduct research, but we need permission to show maybe students' names or students' faces. For example, in our school, we have agreement with parents, and one of points that we provide different research, and we put a picture of students on different Instagram, maybe pages and stuff. It's a good thing.
Okay, that is a figure for many purposes.
Thank you. I want to introduce Ms. Nurula. She is an English language teacher and also principal of school number 48. And also I'm honored to work with our partner schools in our SHARE project.
Okay, I apologize for my coming late. I'm so sorry for that. I was quite busy. I had another meeting with the Department of Education. So my topic is the teacher's leadership role in action research. So I hope that everybody knows what is action research here. So if you have any ideas, so maybe like for a couple hours you are standing here and maybe you had got some kind of ideas about action research. What is action research in your mind? What is action research? Just in simple, just in phrase, just in couple sentences, it doesn't matter.
Identify the problem, the process. Okay, identification of problems and its solutions. Yeah. Okay, good. What else?
Professional development.
Okay. Sustainable professional development. Yeah. Okay. What else?
When teachers have some issues and they work in, so as we can see previously, individually with their own issue, mistake, not mistake, issue, I mean problem, or classroom problem, or they can also work collaboratively with other teachers working on this issue.
Okay. When we hear the word action research or the phrase of action research, we think that this is definitely connected with the classroom, yes, or class context, yeah. But it's also about the teacher. So how do you, for example, set up? How do you grow leadership skills in your teachers? Another question to you. How do you grow the leadership skills in your teachers? Maybe you have some colleagues.
Actually,
So how do you help them to represent themselves as leaders?
Competitions.
Competitions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Create
Is it
trust
forced
and open
competitions?
atmospheres at school,
Okay.
for example, some activities to confident.
Okay.
And
Maybe
trust
some kind of
atmosphere.
conferences, yeah? So I see here lots of new faces. So I'm really happy to see you all for the first time. And the grateful thing is that you young career teachers are standing here and trying to present their research topics, and that is amazing. So today I'm going to talk about about young career teachers and their development. So as moderator presented me, so I'm the head of school at school district number 48 named after Ahmed Badrusun. So and when I just came to this position, so I started lots of problems regarding young career teachers because they know everything but they cannot apply that in practice. They know, for example, what is AI, what is methodology, yeah, but they cannot use all these tools, all these instruments in their lessons. So that's why we decided to make some kind of action research. So for the first time, so I asked them the difference between an experienced teacher and a resultative teacher. So that was a question for the whole staff. So how do you say what is the difference, what is the difference between experienced teacher and resultative teacher?
I think experienced teachers are not always can make results, help students to learn the language and so on. But when the resultative teachers, they don't even if they have no experience, they still can help students to speak the language.
Okay. What else?
it's like the same.
It's like the same, but there are some differences. So they're alike, actually, yeah? Okay, experienced teacher. So as you see here, a teacher who has many years of teaching practice and professional experience. So this is mostly is about numbers. So maybe the teacher can work for 20 years, yeah? So that teacher can say that that is a teacher master. So I have been working here for 35 years, blah blah blah. But that is only about numbers. So resultative teacher, it's maybe it's quite trendy nowadays. So we say proactive teacher, yeah. So proactive teacher is a resultative teacher. So that is the person who is focusing on the result. So I do believe that all young teachers, young career teachers, they try to be resultative teacher. But now, as a school administration, so we have to direct them. We have to give them some kind of advice. Yeah. Okay. So experienced teacher, as you see, often acts as a mentor or as an advisor based on experience. So they rely on their experience, but it doesn't matter that they are super experienced ones. Yeah. Okay. Resultative teacher, so they often act as a leader, change agent, and the initiator of improvement. So they are really open for any change. So you can, for example, maybe, so actually in our staff, yeah, we have both of them. But after this presentation, I hope that it will be really clear for you to differentiate them. Okay, next. So role of teacher in action research, yeah? So maybe you have conducted some researches. We all say like lessons, so conduct lesson study in your classes, yeah, conduct action research in your classes. But do teachers know what is action research? How do you say? Do your colleagues know about that?
I think not all the teachers know what action research is actually.
Okay, well, it was, for the first time it was additional ones, yeah? Now, educational curriculum is changing, so nowadays it's becoming more mandatory ones, yeah? So if you are going to apply for your, I don't know, category update, yeah? So you have to make some action research or lesson study, yeah? So it's becoming forced, yeah? It can be forced by government, but sometimes teachers can also cheat some investigations, some researches. So that is not showing the real fact, yeah? Okay, actually, the role of teacher in action research, it's different ones, yeah? Because teacher has to evaluate the situation, nominate problem, what kind of problems you are going to have in your classroom, so what kind of problems you are going to solve in your classroom, yeah? So are you solving the real problem, or that is maybe some kind of substitutional or like supplement problems, yeah? Okay, also it's a teacher who generates idea, sets a goal, yeah? Leads the changes, conducts observations and researches. It's a teacher who reads books, literature. It's a teacher who can analyze. It's a teacher who can develop his or her practice, yeah? Okay, that can be quite challenging, but if you know all these instruments, you will be the head and shoulders teacher in your school, I guess. Okay. So, the case of my school. I'm going to show to you the case of my school. So when I came just to that school, so it was really challenging for me because that school has been working for 22 years, and with any changes. So teachers just come and teach and then only go, yeah. So I wanted them to be a part of that organization, to conduct some researches, to work, to conduct inquiry-based learning. So to do all of this was quite difficult for me, quite challenging. Maybe you have heard about our school that there were some kind of like complaints that head teacher is really strong, she's forcing us to do something, blah blah blah. So that's why it was quite challenging for me. Okay, action research is about learning and teaching environment and research environment. If you are at here, so if you are going to here, so you can do the action research better. Explain me? Yeah. Okay. Okay. That was a little outcomes of our school. Currently, we have 9 young career teachers who has approximately 1 year of work, and we have done. So we have done some kind of researches. We have given them some projects with the students, yeah. So they have to conduct a project with the students, and they can have some checklists. They follow all the instructions, and we see the success, we see the achievement, we monitor that, and we give the mark for the young career-related teacher. So it means that administration is not the only head of school. So administration is all vice principals, etc. So they monitor the teacher monitors and conducts projects. So I really understand that 1 year of work is not enough to show yourself, yeah. So you have to participate in different kind of competitions, like conferences, and etc. But that time will not be enough because it was quite stressful work at school for the first year. I understand that because I have worked, my previous workplace was university, and when I just came to school, it was a really shocking process for me. All of the stuff. So that is our quite little outcomes, yeah? So we found out these things. Identification, that is understanding common ideas and practices. Coordination, teachers learned coordinating different experiences, yeah? And provisional identity, they trying oneself in a new role and networking. Now they can have some community and they don't feel any fear to communicate, to ask something from each other. Okay, now we have this thing. Annually, we, like all the teachers, have to give two kinds of reports. It's the winter report and summer report. Winter report is given to only school administration without participating of the head of school. And summer report is a like meeting where like school principal can participate. We have to diagnose, like make some diagnostics on achievement of teacher, on achievement of the school students. And in this way, we can give them some financial support, like creating something like this. Okay, yeah, something like this, yeah, because I know that finance plays crucial role in teachers' life, but you know that the budget is not like endless, it's limited, so that's why we have to find another way of
It will be external motivation.
Yeah. Okay. So now we school administration provides facilitations and effective support of young career teachers because they have to. If there are 5 working days, yeah, the first day they have the day of methodology. So we have another experienced, not without the experienced teacher who are eager to share with their practices, and we call it methodology day. That is mandatory. And second day is the AI day. They have to also attend these meetings, and we check everything so that, for example, I don't know, like someone has come, Aygul hasn't come, something like this, yeah? So we do that to make the perfect teacher. So I know that there is no any like magic stick in education, but we are trying to find that. Okay, school administration show the real image of professional development trajectory of teachers. For example, in winter time, yeah, so if the teacher cannot show like so many achievements, yeah, we direct them. So maybe you can participate that one. So you can go there. So that is coming. So you can write article or you can write some also work something like this. Yeah, we direct them. So that is the creation of trajectory of teachers. Selected teachers have a chance to work in a school administrational positions. Being a teacher is okay, but to work in an administration is really hard. But we try to make them to adapt this hard, stressful atmosphere. Selected teachers can coordinate other young teachers. For example, one young teacher, yeah, so who is a leader, yeah, and we can give them another young teacher who is a bit weak, yeah. Okay, young teachers get opportunities to improve their practices and turning schools into sources of research and cultural development rather than just educational organizations. So to teach, come and go, it's okay. So that is the action of everybody, yeah. But we have to be the part of this educational system. So we try to explain that. Okay, that is the end. So if you have any questions. Maybe it can be shown like quite strict for you, so I understand that. But sometimes we also show loyalty to the teachers. Okay. Questions?
What are median teachers?
9. For this year, we have only 9 teachers. Yeah.
What is the criteria for choosing, like, for selecting the teachers versus the young teachers?
Result of teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
How to show that you're like really
So,
productive experience?
the day, so I came to that school as a school principal 14th of January of the last year. At that time, so there was no any criteria. So I have learned about that in Cambridge when I visited Cambridge. Yeah. So there was a school, Bottisham Village School. That school is really simple, which is in village, you know. But even though, despite the location, so that school was showing the outstanding results. So I have learned that 3 times a year they are doing that. But I understand that 3 times a year it would be really stressful for teachers. So that's why we have taken only 2 times. That the first one is without participating of the school head of school, and second one is with the participation of head of school. And we give them all the criteria. So that is a learning language, getting some courses like professional courses, getting some courses on AI, getting some courses on methodology. Yeah. So we made the model, so which is called TPOC. Maybe you have heard about that. Yeah, technological knowledge, content knowledge, and like pedagogical knowledge. So we try to focus on these knowledges.
Are they showing like lessons for you or like administration, as you
No,
said?
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But at the beginning of every month, we make up the list that we would like to participate and we would like to see, and they can be in this list, but it doesn't matter. But the thing that matters is the feedback of the parents and the feedback of the school students.
Students' results, yes.
Yes.
Do you remember the story which Kate Evan shared about her experience as a principal in this British school in her first years? For example, so Kate Evans, she mentors of
kind of supervisors.
Yes, and she shared with her experience when she became a new principal in Bottisham Village School. And this school had a good features, yes, good results of students, and teachers considered themselves very well educated, very experienced teachers. And she said that it took about 2 or 3 years to prove that they are not so best as they seem, because students, for example, who came to schools and got satisfactory marks 3 during 2 years, his results didn't change, and she showed it. So if you are experienced teachers, why are the students still in low level? Where is your so you are best because you have good students in front of you, not about your methodology and stuff.
Now we are trying to implement this this research for every teachers. So now our so if I'm not mistaken, so yes, our academic achievement has risen to 6%. Yeah. So now we are the leader school of Astana City.
So those teachers that you are saying experienced ones but not resultative ones, their result that they are experienced a little bit like you said, the weak teachers, they are on what the result of their students' knowledge are weak too. You mean weak students, weak teachers, or the experienced teachers. They do not show a lot of activity in taking part in different kind of competitions or courses, and etc. And also the result of their students low too.
An impact on the
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. So that's why we try not to only like go and observe their lessons. So we also try to pay attention to others like aspects too. Like that is like reflection of the students, reflection of the parents, like methodology that they are using in their like lessons. Yes, the language proficiency if they are like language teachers. Yeah. Even though we pay attention on the books that they are reading right now. So sometimes I can just stop every teacher and ask, so what was the last book that you have read? Like recently?
It depends on
So it depends on the
requirements.
depends on the situation. It depends on the teacher. Sometimes even though like experienced teacher cannot differentiate some like basic things. So recently I have attended like geography lesson. The teacher was teaching like division of countries, like developed countries, like developing countries, and etc. And she even didn't know about the political map of the world. So and I had to explain. So there are some kind of maps. So that is political card, like political map, and that is physical map. So there were some differences. So that is a real fact. Yeah, that is a real fact. But now teachers do understand that for the first time we have taken only young teachers, but now we are implementing for every teacher. So the rule is equal for everyone. Okay.
Dear teachers, now we have break time, and in 30 minutes you should be back.